Welcome to AMT's Standard Bank Fresh Produce Overview. This week we look at price predictions over the next 3 winter months with carrot prices that can drop sharply. This episode is proudly brought to you by Standard Bank, helping you grow every step of the way. Let's start off with this week's top market movers. Our biggest winner was cucumbers with a 37% increase, while garlic prices showed the biggest drop with 16% lower prices the past week. Our one crop to watch this week is carrots. Currently prices are stable, but prices are sitting at very high levels at the moment. Historically, we see a sharp drop in June and July, and this year the fall could be even more severe. Keep a close eye and plan accordingly. But with that, let's dive into the latest prices of the week. The national average potato price stayed on a lower level last week due to high carryover stocks and traded on an average price of R52.75 per 10 kilogram bag. Large potatoes traded higher at 64, mediums at 50 and smalls at 31 rand. Mondials were slightly up at 50 rand while Saffras came in at 58 rand. The average price for class 1 potatoes across all sizes was on 59 rand 47. During May, the total volumes picked up by about 16% and therefore drove prices downward. The rain also resulted in lower quality on the markets, also putting pressure on this price. This week we are expecting demand to remain relatively high, but the markets didn't start off on a good foot with extremely high carryover stocks from last week. Coupled with this is that quality remains a major issue, which is likely to keep prices low despite relatively good demand still expected for this week. The Eastern Free State will finish up now, while more volumes will come out of Limpopo from now onwards, which can keep prices low for this month as well. The average onion price increased by 3% to R101.76 per 10 kgs and is now 25% higher than a year ago. Brown onions averaged on 103 rand, red onions decreased to 125 and white onions increased to 101 rand. Large onions traded higher at 107, mediums lower at 104 and smalls at 82 rand. Last year the average price peaked in June at around 93 rand, but the expectation always was that the price can trade higher this year due to more potato and less onion volumes. We can therefore expect onion volumes to stay lower in June and prices to trade even higher. However, keep in mind that more volumes from July can drive prices downward again from then. Tomato prices increased by 1% to a national average price of R12.57 per kilogram. Large tomatoes traded at R15.33, mediums at R12.68 and smalls at R11.54. Last year, the average price dipped from 12 rand to about 8 rand in June due to more volumes. We are expecting a similar trend this year with the average price that is likely to drop sharply during June. However, for this week, prices can maintain its current levels due to demand that will likely still support prices. As expected, carrot prices traded sideways last week on R8.76 per kilogram due to higher demand that was offset by higher volumes. Large carrots traded on R9.64, mediums at R7.01 and smalls at R7.80. Last year the price dropped in June and July due to higher volumes and can again happen this year. This year, however, prices can drop more severely just because we are still on very or extremely high price levels at the moment. This week, however, the higher expected demand can keep prices higher, while prices can start to decline from next week. Just take a note of that and plan accordingly. The average pepper price increased by 4% to R16.03 per kilogram. Green peppers came in higher at R12.89, yellow peppers increased to R20.89 and red peppers declined to R20.49. The average price is now about 74% higher than this time last year, with volumes about 19% lower year on year. Last year, the average price only started to climb from July onwards, which was due to more favorable production conditions. This year, however, we expect volumes to stay low and prices therefore to remain higher at least until August of this year. Cabbage prices increased sharply by 20% to R3.52 per kilogram and is also likely to dip in June. Garlic prices dropped by 16% to R68.03, with local garlic prices 22% lower on R60.39 and imported garlic still on a higher level of R85.98. Garlic prices will likely remain on a higher level during June and July and then start trickling downwards from August onwards. Spinach prices dropped by 11% to R4.42 per kilogram, with prices that will likely remain around these levels during June, July and August. Sweet potato prices also declined by 5% to R5.38. Our expectation is for sweet potato prices to remain around these levels in June, but then increase sharply in July and August when volumes will likely drop off. Pumpkin prices increased by 3% to R3.06, while butternuts increased by about 15% to R4.65. Both these prices can trade sideways during June, but will then likely start to increase and peak during September and October of this year. Green beans dropped by 9% to R8.78 and cucumbers saw a 37% increase to R22.45 per kilogram last week. Our latest monthly reports are also available on our website. Go check them out at amtrends.co.za. In the fruit market, the average banana price dropped by 12% to R7.65 per kilogram or R138 per 18 kilogram box. My expectation is that banana prices can stay on a lower level over the next 3 months. Apple prices dropped by 4% to R9.53 per kilogram, while pear prices gained 0.25% to R9.06. As expected, orange prices dropped by 12% to R4.13 per kilogram on the back of higher volumes. As more volumes are expected, we anticipate prices to bottom out in June and then remain on a lower level over the following 2 months as well. Avocado prices dropped by about 6% to R15.49 per kilogram, still 17% above last year's price levels. Fuetes decreased to R22, while Haas dropped to R11 and Pinkertons traded at R14 per kilogram. We continue to expect a slight upward price trend during June and July and volumes to start dropping from August onwards that will drive prices higher by then. The average grape price dropped by 2% to R49.98 per kilogram. Expect grape prices to increase sharply in June and peak in July and also remain on a higher level in August due to low volumes on the markets expected. Pineapples increased by 4% to R11.34 and is likely to remain on a lower level in June and bottom out in July again. Lemon prices fell by 9% to R4.82, while the average blueberry price decreased by 11% to R93 per kilogram last week. This episode was proudly brought to you by Standard Bank. For more detailed insights, forecasts and free downloadable tools, visit amtrends.co.za now. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe. Thanks for watching and see you next week.